Hey guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. So in this video tutorial, what I'll be going through is how to answer exam questions. So this will be different to the videos that you guys have been watching, which was more on me explaining the topics. This one is just going to be me really going through exam questions and showing you the method step by step on how to answer these. So if you were looking for more of the topic section or the topic video tutorials, this is not the one for you, and I would say just skip this video, don't watch this. But this is literally me just going to explain how to solve these kind of questions, exam questions. Okay, and if these kind of videos help you out or you prefer these videos, give it a thumbs up or put it down in the comments so that I know as well. Right, so let's get straight to the question. The first one that we have now, this is a function question. Okay, this is a function exam question, just if you were wondering the topic. So this is functions, right? And now we have a function f of x, it's given here, and they're basically asking us to show that f of x plus 2 minus f of x gives us 4x plus 8. So what that basically means is you need to find these, and then when you minus it and simplify, you should get 4x plus 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write my f of x function. So that is x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, and I'm going to find f of x plus 2 first. So I'm going to find f of x plus 2. Now what does that mean basically? Instead of x, you have x plus 2, right? So that basically means wherever I see x here, I'm going to put x plus 2. Okay, so instead of x squared here, I'm going to now have x plus 2 whole thing squared. Actually, you know what? The better way of doing this is actually showing you in a different color. So instead of x, I'll have plus 2, and I have x here plus 1. Okay, so like I said again, instead of x, you're going to have x plus 2. So wherever I see x, I'm going to put x plus 2. And that should have been squared, by the way, here. And then this should be x plus 2, right? Do you guys see that? Because I am substituting x plus 2 in here and in here, which is what I've got here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand. We need to expand this bracket. So x plus 2 squared basically means we have x plus 2 times x plus 2. And if we were to expand this bracket, that's going to give us 2x plus 4 and then plus 1. So if I just write f of x plus 2 again here, right, and f of x plus 2 again here, yes, I know it is quite it is repetitive. Now if we expand this, x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, and then 2 times x is 2x, and then 2 times 2 is 4, and then plus 2x, and then if we simplify that, 4 plus 1, it's 5. So now if we were to simplify all of this, f of x plus 2, so that's going to be x squared, 2x plus 2x is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, so that's 6x, and then 4 plus 5 is 9. That is my f of x plus 2, okay? And that is a 2 and not a 1. Okay, now what we need to do is, if you look at this, we have f of x plus 2 minus f of x. So instead of now writing f of x plus 2, we can write this, right? Because we found what f of x plus 2 is, which is this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus, what is your f of x? It's given in the question, which is that. So we're going to take away. So that's going to be take away x squared plus 2x plus 1. So now if we simplify this, x squared and x squared goes, because you're doing x squared minus x squared, that goes. What's 6x? Okay, another thing I just forgot. I should have put this in bracket. That's my bad. Remember, that's another thing. Minus is minus of this whole function. So what that basically means, which is very important, this is how the examiners will try and catch you out as well. This minus basically gets multiplied by every single term here. So you're going to have minus x squared, minus 2x, and then minus 1, because minus times x squared is minus x squared, minus times 2x is minus 2x, and then minus times 1 is minus 1. Now if we to simplify this, x squared minus x squared goes away. What is 6x minus 2x? 4x. And then what's 9 minus 1? Plus 8. And that is how we show that this f of x plus 2 minus f of x is 4x plus 8. Okay? Right, so the next question now we have is a triangle, right? And this topic now, if you're just wanting to know, this is on trigonometry, right? So this is the topic referring to trigonometry, okay? So this question now, what we have is we have a triangle, right? We have 8.1, 47, and 65. And the question is asking us calculate the area of triangle ABC. Now, two things you need, well, one important thing that you guys need to remember is if it's a non-right angle triangle, to find the area of a triangle, you have to use the formula half AB sine C. Okay, so this is for a non-right angle triangle, and this is very important. Okay, so non-right angle triangle, and obviously if it's a right angle triangle, you use half times base times height. So for me in here, right, this triangle isn't a right angle triangle for me, so what I'm going to use is this formula, half AB sine C. Now for you to use half AB sine C, the way this triangle or the formula works is basically A and B has to be two lengths that merge to form the angle. So let me explain. What does that mean? If you're looking at this as 47 degrees, your A and B has to be this length and this length. Okay? If you're going to look at 65, your A and B has to be this length and this length. Remember, two lengths that merge to form the angle. The first step that I can do here, because obviously I've only have one length here, is I can find this angle first, right? Because you have the 65 and then you have 47, and you know that in a triangle it adds up to 180. So if I were to do 180 minus the sum of 65 plus 47, that should give 65, 47, and then 180. So that should be 68 degrees. Okay, so this is 68 degrees. Okay, what we can do now is, because I have this length here, I can get this length, so then I can find the area of the triangle, because then I have this angle. So for me to get this length, I'm going to label this as x, right? And now, so this is the first step. The second step, now to find x, you have to use a certain trig rule, right? And this is where you need to know, which rule do you use, and this can either be a cosine rule or a sine rule. But because I have two angles I'm working with, I'm going to use the sine rule. So I'm going to use sine A over A equals sine B over B. And again, if you're not sure with these, I have put all the video tutorials on sine, cosine, area of triangle, all there as well, so you guys can check those out. So sine A, if I look at this, I'm going to use sine 68. Right, I'm going to use that angle, and now the length has to be opposite the angle that you're looking at. So my length that is opposite 68 is x. Okay, and now if we're going to use 8.1, the angle that I'm going to have to use here is 65. So I'm going to have sine 65 over the opposite length, which is 8.1. Right, and now what we're going to do is cross multiply, because we want to find x. So we're going to have x sine 65 is equals to 8.1 times sine 68. Okay, 8.1 times sine 68. And now because we want to find x, I guess, we just need to bring the sine 65 to the other side. So we'll have 8.1 sine 68 divided by sine 65. Okay, and if you put all of that in your calculator, you should get, if I'm not mistaken here, divided by sine 65, you should get 8.29 centimeters. Okay, so that should be 8.29. So x should be 8.29 centimeters. But remember, so step 3, remember it's asking you to find the area of the triangle ABC. So the area of the triangle, I'm going to use half AB sine C. Okay, and now I have this length x, which is 8.29, so I can write 8.29 here. So all I'm going to do is find, well, the area by using these two lengths and this angle. So all I need to do now, the final step, is half times 8.29 times 8.1 times sine 47. That's meant to be a 4. So the area is, if you do 0.5 times 8.29 times 8.1 and then times sine 47, that should give you 24.6 centimeters squared to 3 SF. Okay, so this is a 5-mark question for this one, right? This exam question. So you need to obviously first find the angle, and then once you find the angle, use the right trig rules. In this case, we're using sine, and then once you find the length, you can put it back and into the formula for the area of triangle to find it. Okay. Right, so the next exam question is on sectors. So this topic, or this question, exam question, is based on the topic sectors. Okay, so if you read the question, we have this is basically an arc, right, of a center O, and it has a radius of 80 meters and it has an angle of 40. The question is asking us find the area of the shaded segment, which is basically this bit here, the shaded segment here. Now, two things that you need to know before doing this question. If you don't know this, you won't be able to do the question. And the two things is you need to know the formulas, and these formulas are not going to be given in the exam. And those are the formula for arc length. Okay, so the formula for arc length is equals to theta over 360 times 2 pi r, or pi d if you like, doesn't matter, makes no difference. And then the other one is area of sector, which is basically theta over 360 times pi r squared. So that's the area of sector, and this is the arc length. So you need to know these two formulas. Okay, now to do this question, it's quite simple. It's not very difficult once you kind of understand the method to do. And basically, we need to find the area of the shaded segment. So I'm going to write, okay, area of shaded segment. Okay, so area of shaded segment. Now, how we're going to work this out is quite simple. To find the area of the shaded segment, this bit, what we first need to do is find the area of the whole sector, right? If we find the area of the whole sector, and then find the area of this triangle here, AOAC, and we take them away, won't we be left with this shaded segment? So let me write what I just said. If we find the area of the sector, so if we find area of sector, which is this whole thing, and then we do minus the area of triangle, so area of triangle, so basically, okay, area of sector, what I mean by area of sector is basically O, let me point that out, O, A, B, C. So this whole thing, O, A, B, C, right? And then minus the area of triangle, so triangle O, A, C, so O, A, C, we'll be left with the shaded segment, which is A, B, C, right? A, B, C. That's what we'll be left with. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that. If we find the area of the whole sector, which is this, and we minus the area of this triangle, OAC, we'll be left with this shaded segment. Okay? So now all we need to do is put the formulas in. So area of sector, which is here, this is our formula. So we're going to use this formula. So theta in this case is going to be 40 over 360 times pi times my radius, which is 80 squared, minus, so we put that in a bracket like that. So that's meant to be squared here. Minus the area of a triangle, which is now area of triangle, because this is not a right angle triangle, is going to be half AB sine C. So the area of a triangle, which is non-right angle, is half AB sine C. So again, what we're going to do is half times, now my A and B is just going to be 80 and 80, because this is, if this is 80, this is also going to be 80 because it's a radius, right? So it's just going to be 80 times sine the angle, which is 40. Okay, now if we find the area of the sector separately, you can put this in one line if you want in your calculator, but you just got to be careful because you can make silly mistakes, right? So that will give us, okay, we'll just put this as, okay, in decimals for now anyway. So that's going to give us 2234.0214. Again, what I would say is just put the actual answer, the whole answer in here, but you know, so that it gives it more accurate as a final answer. And then if we do the other one, so it's half times 80 times sine 40, that will give us 2056.92, and then let's put 03503. Okay, that's fine, I guess, for now. And then if we take them away, 234, so 2234.0214, and we take that away, that will give us 177.1 centimeters squared. So that is our area of shaded segment. That's it. So that's pretty much it. That's our area shaded segment. So again, just double check if this is right. I'm pretty sure this is okay. This is right, but just in case, just make sure. Yeah, you literally just put this in your calculator. That's it. Okay. So the important thing is just know area shaded segment is basically area of the whole sector minus the area of triangle, and then you just put in you put the numbers in the formula, and then you just take it forward, and then that's pretty much it. Okay, so this will be it for this video tutorial. If you feel like you want, if you feel like this kind of video tutorial has helped you, put it down in the comments. That's not a problem. I'll take that into consideration because I just did not want to make the video a bit too long. Because I'm not quite sure. Obviously, if you if you see a 20-25 minute video, I don't know. I could be wrong, but yeah. So I just thought, okay, put a couple of questions, see if you guys find that useful, and I guess take it from there. So that will be a wrap for this video, and I shall see you on the next one.